Hey Clashers, and welcome back to another video. Well, today we have the first sneak peek of the fall update, and we're going to talk about new levels of buildings, new level of troops, balance changes, and bug fixes and more. So let's dive into it and let's get started with the first building, which is going to get a new level. The mortar is going to get a new level, which is going to be quite expensive, but this is going to result that you are going to be able to make sure that you can't trade one mortar against one loon anymore, which is actually a big impact, because this means, well, you have to invest more into funneling or just more into like getting your queen into the right direction. Still, the mortar is not the most powerful defense, but the next defense is, because we are going to talk about the X-Bow. The X-Bow is going to get a new level as well, and that one is going to be really cool because we're going to get 15 extra DPS, where I think we're going to see a big difference for a lot of strategies. Not only queen charges, but as well other strategies are going to have an impact with this new X-Bow level. We're going to talk about that in just a second, but before that, let's take a look at those new troops, which are going to get a new level as well. Well, Golem, Bowler, Miner, Hog Rider, and Yeti are going to get a new level, but let's take a look at the stats and actually how much it matters. First off, the Miner is going to get the new level, where I feel like the extra level is not too crazy stats-wise. Because if you consider like one miner inside the range of the Warden Aura, it's already like round about 1600 HP. So additional 100 HP, like you take those obviously, but it's not having the biggest impact. But let's see how big of an impact this is, because the Hog Rider as well is going to get a new level. And this one could actually have a big impact, because not only in Queen Charge Hog Rider you are using Hog Riders, but as well in the Cinti way of using Hog Riders, which means like a really cool Sui, a hero dive, maybe even with the Skelly Donut, and then sending in 40 Hog Riders into a base with this new level. This could have a big impact onto the meta and overall on thinking how to approach a base. The next thing is going to be the Yeti, and the Yeti is kind of like a not really sure, because on one side the Yeti Smash still suffers from one Yeti being spring trapped away from only one spring trap. But on the other side, the Yeti Blimp is now crazy. Yeti Blimp already before this Yeti level was already really strong. But now with an additional Yeti level, Yeti Blimp could be insane, to be honest. So overall, Yeti Smash, Yeti Blimp, that's going to be the thing. The next troop which is going to get the new level is going to be the Bowler. And to be honest, I don't even know where to use the Bowler in the current meta at the moment. Like, I feel like Super Wizards are in most cases just stronger. So let's see how big of an impact this is, because the HP buff is already quite big. Like 70 HP, you can't miss out on that. The next one is going to be the Golem, and that one is going to be an interesting one, especially for the highest level of play. Like if you give Klaus a Golem, he's going to do crazy things with that. And now with another level, well, that might have some impact overall. Especially right now already in the meta, people like to bring like one Golem with their heroes, and especially with now the new X-Bow levels, this could have a great impact on like being able to protect your heroes a little bit better. So that's overall it for the troops. This is how they look before the update, and how I think the meta is going to be kind of impacted by this new those new levels. Because I feel like some of them have a bigger impact, some of them is smaller. But either way, this is now how they look after the update. The Golem got a little bit more green, but overall, some nice changes to the look of the troops. And during watching those troops circle around in the armory camps, we want to take a quick look at the bug fixes. I think the biggest bug fix, which has the biggest impact, is going to be the bug fix where those builders are not able to get stuck anymore inside walls, which has been around for quite some time, and this now is supposed to be fixed, which is going to be great because this gives some power back. Sometimes builders just did not repair, and with this bug fix, this is a nice thing, I want to say. The next thing I want to touch on is some balance changes, and the first balance change is Inferno Dragons are getting a nerf. It takes a little bit longer for them to like beam up and deal that much damage. So like Mass Inferno Dragons, for example, are getting a small hit. In addition to that, the Dragon Rider is getting a small nerf as well. Where I feel like, I always said like the Dragon Rider is fine. And to be honest, I feel like the Dragon Rider nerf is not that crazy big, because only the range is getting reduced. But why it might be actually big, we're going to take a look at that a bit later when taking a look at how strong air spam still is. But now we want to take a look at the Yak because, surprisingly, the Yak is getting a nerf as well. The Yak was way too strong considering how to approach a base when giving the king more power. Especially when facing skeleton traps. The Yak and the splash damage was just insane. And now, with the change, the Yak is doing no splash damage anymore. Which means skeleton traps actually can now have some impact onto the king and delay the king and the Yak even further. So now the skeleton trap on ground might have a comeback overall. But now let's take a look at the strength of this Expo. Let's take a look at how much HP this queen is losing with fighting a couple of storages and one Expo at a time with having the unicorn on her. One thing which you have to keep in mind, this is only one Expo. Like obviously typically you got cannons, scatter shots, eagle shots, whatever are missing. She's finishing on around like 5 to 10% of her HP. Now let's take a look how this was before the update. Like the same setup, same level of storages, overall same setup, only the Expo level is missing. And this is 15 DPS per second. And you can see already, this is having quite some impact. Like 15 DPS per second if there's an Expo locking onto the queen. And that's just the Expo. Like imagine there's another cannon, for example. That's a big difference. Because this now is between 10 and I don't know, 25% of her HP remaining. So that's quite a big of a difference. But now let's talk about Hybrid. Because I already see a lot of you guys like jumping up and like screaming, yes, Hybrid is back. Hybrid is getting a comeback. Let's go. And to all of those guys, I have a message that you should not be happy too early. Because let's rethink when Hybrid was actually strong in the current, like in the update before this update, pretty much, if you know what I mean. Like, Hybrid was strong if you were able to queen charge a town hall, which got protected by bomb towers, which got protected by, I don't know, a lot of traps, for example. In those cases, Hybrid was really, really strong, and it's going to be even stronger after the update. But there's one big problem. Due to the Hybrid getting a new level, more people are going to use Hybrid again, then Hogrise are getting a new level, so you have to place spring traps accordingly to trap against those entries. Even bomb towers are going to be placed now differently. They're not going to be placed around the town hall anymore, which then around is giving Hybrid 2 huge nerfs, which means spring traps are going to be triggered again, and bomb towers are going to be on the way of the Hybrid, which is 2 big things, which is kind of like not really going that well with the new level. So if you know what I mean, this being said already, we have the new Expo level, which then overall is nerfing queen charge attacks. So we have the nerf for the queen charge, we have the nerf for the Hybrid because everyone is now trapping Hybrid again. So I just want to say, depending on how the meta is going to be, like depending on how strong people find like mass Hog Riders, queen charge Hybrid, depending on how many people using this strategy, if it's getting used a lot, all of those mentioned strategies, Hybrid is going to get like maybe even weaker than it was before the update, even though it's getting a new level. Which sounds kind of strange, but the thing is always still like you're really limited with Hybrid options. Because going through the town hall, we just see the Hybrid just disappear. Hybrid is not having a great time of going through a town hall poison. So being able to charge the town hall is in most cases essential for a working Hybrid. As I said, in most cases, not always. Still, because before everyone was like, okay, Hybrid is dead, I will just quit. No, that's not how things are going to be. I just wanted to like mention for all of those people who are really hyped about Hybrid is getting a new level, I just wanted to mention and like explain you that Hybrid is not going to be OP by any means. Let's see if it's going to be stronger, if it's going to stay the same strength-wise, or if it's going to be weaker, and we're just going to be able to see that after a couple of weeks of the update. That's how things are. It's really hard to predict things like this. Either way, keep all of those things in mind when you're already preparing of going back to Queen Charge Hybrid maybe after the update. Either way, this attack really, like, it was a huge overkill, you can see. Like a huge overkill, the Warden just one-shotting every single building, and this is going to be a 3-star. But now we want to take a look at the strategy which I mentioned a bit earlier, air spam. And this is a strategy, I want to say, some people love, some people hate. That's how things are. Most of the competitive community just hate air spam. Most of the casuals, I guess, really like it because it's simple, it's strong. But is it strong still after the update? Well, let's take a look at this attack and let's figure out together if it's actually strong. And let's talk a bit longer about the Dragon Rider nerf. Because I'm not sure yet if the Dragon Rider nerf is actually a nerf, or maybe even like a buff or something. Or maybe something in between. Not really sure just yet. I feel like for Queen Charge Dragon Riders, I feel like Queen Charge Dragon Riders overall are going to get it. Like, it's going to get a huge hit in the next update. Not only Queen Charges are harder to execute due to the Expo level, as well with the Dragon Rider range not being that big anymore, they take much more damage. That's how it is. Like, which means the Dragon Riders are going to be nerfed if they are alone. Because how it was before, they had a really big range, which means they felt so tanky because defenses were just not in range. But with this defense, like with this range difference, this means defenses are more likely in range now with shooting defenses. So let's say an air defense is behind a cannon, depending on how this setup was structured before the update, sometimes the air defense did not even shoot the Dragon Riders due to the huge range of the Dragon Riders. Now after the update, the air defense is more likely to shoot Dragon Riders when shooting a building before the air defense itself, which means Queen Charge Dragon Riders is going to get a quite big hit, I feel like. So it's still going to be used a lot because it's just like a fun strategy, but I feel like it's going to be more Lalo again after this update instead of Dragon Riders combined with the Queen Charge. The next thing though is going to be air spam, which I just showed in this attack, where I feel like it might be not the worst thing that those tanky troops with the Dragon Riders have less range, because this means they're tanking more likely for like dragons, for Inferno Dragons, things like that. So if this is going to be actually nerfed for air spam, we're going to have to see that in just a couple of weeks. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I hope all of those information were helpful for you. And let me know what you think about those changes. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys back tomorrow for the next one. Until then, see ya and bye bye.